The announcer's voice echoed through the arena. In first place, Arnold Schwarzenegger. For the 9th time, 9 consecutive Mr. Olympia victories. A record that would never be broken. A dominance that was unquestionable. Arnold stepped forward to accept the trophy. The crowd erupted. The applause was deafening. This was what it sounded like to be untouchable. In second place was Franco Columbu, an old rival, a man Arnold had defeated multiple times, a competitor who had pushed Arnold, challenged him, made him work harder than anyone else had ever made him work. Franco stood on the stage, second place again. His face showed disappointment, but also something else, something deeper. The ceremony finished. Arnold was given his trophy. The photographers surrounded him. The moment of pure victory was his. And then, in the chaos of celebration, something unexpected happened. Franco approached Arnold, not with anger, not with bitterness, with something else entirely. Franco extended his hand, and when Arnold took it, Franco pulled him close and embraced him. The cameras captured it. The crowd saw it. But what happened next, what happened in that moment, was something only Arnold and Franco would fully understand. "Thank you," Franco whispered in Arnold's ear. Arnold pulled back, confused. "Thank you for what?" Arnold asked. "For pushing me," Franco said. "For all these years. For making me better. For never letting me settle." Arnold didn't know what to say. "You don't understand," Franco continued, his voice quiet but intense. "I came here to beat you. But I also came here because you're the only one who makes me want to be better. The only one who pushes me to my absolute limit. Without you, I would have won everything years ago. But I would have been nothing." Arnold stared at Franco, trying to process what he was hearing. "I lost today," Franco said. "And that hurts. Of course it hurts. But I am grateful. I am grateful for every time you beat me. Because every loss taught me something. Every defeat made me stronger. Every failure made me more determined." Franco's eyes were wet. He wasn't crying, but he was close. "So thank you," Franco said again. "Thank you for being the standard. Thank you for being the one I had to chase. Thank you for making me push beyond what I thought was possible." Arnold pulled Franco into an embrace. Not a formal embrace. A real one. The embrace of two warriors who had fought each other for years and understood something that outsiders couldn't understand. They had made each other great. Without Arnold, Franco would not have achieved what he achieved. Without Franco, Arnold would not have been pushed to maintain his dominance. They were opponents on stage. But they were also something more. They were necessary to each other's success. When they separated, Franco walked away, leaving Arnold standing there with the trophy and the realization that victory meant something different now. That night, Arnold sat in his hotel room, looking at the trophy and thinking about what Franco had said. Because Franco was right. Without Franco pushing him, without Franco challenging him, without Franco reminding him that he could be beaten, Arnold might have become complacent. The victory against Franco was different from victories against other competitors. Because Franco made him earn it. Franco made him work. Franco made him prove that he was truly the best. And in doing so, Franco had made Arnold's victory mean something. The next day, Arnold sought out Franco. He found him in the gym, training alone, preparing for next year, already thinking about the next battle. "I want to say something," Arnold said. Franco looked up from his training. "What you said yesterday," Arnold continued, "about me making you better. That works both ways. Without you, I would not be who I am. Without your challenge, without your push, I would have become someone else. Someone weaker. Someone who did not have to work for victory." Franco nodded. "You made me great," Arnold said, "not by losing, but by refusing to accept anything less than your best. By pushing me every single time we competed. By making me understand that the trophy is not important. The work is important. The struggle is important." Franco smiled. A real smile. The smile of someone who understood that he had won something bigger than a trophy. "That is what I realized yesterday," Franco said. "Standing on the stage in second place, I realized that I had already won. I had won the moment I decided to push myself. The trophy would have been nice, but it was not the victory. The victory was in knowing that I had done everything I could, that I had left nothing on the stage. Arnold understood then what separated the great champions from everyone else. It wasn't the trophy. It wasn't the title. It wasn't even the victory. It was the understanding that your opponent was not your enemy. Your opponent was your partner in greatness. Your opponent was a person who would push you to be better. Your opponent was the one without whom you could never achieve your highest potential. Over the years, Arnold and Franco would continue to compete. Arnold would continue to win. Franco would continue to push him. And every time they stepped on stage together, they were not just competing against each other. They were creating something together, a standard of excellence that the sport of bodybuilding had never seen before. Other competitors would watch them and understand what it meant to truly compete, not with bitterness, not with anger, but with respect, with the understanding that this was what it looked like when two people pushed each other to greatness. Years later, when Arnold had retired from competition and Franco had also moved on, they would reflect on their rivalry. "People think we were enemies," Franco said in an interview, "but we were not enemies. We were brothers in a battle that mattered to both of us. Every loss I suffered against Arnold made me better. Every victory Arnold had against me proved that he was worthy of being the best. We made each other immortal." Arnold, in a separate interview, said something similar. "Franco was my greatest rival, but he was also my greatest teacher, because he showed me what it meant to never give up, to never accept defeat as final, to always come back, always push harder, always believe that you could be better. Without Franco, I would have been a champion, but with Franco, I became a legend." The secret that no one talks about in sports is that greatness is often a shared experience. The greatest champions are often made great by their rivals, the opponents who push them, the competitors who refuse to let them settle. Arnold and Franco understood this. They understood that their rivalry was not about hatred or anger or the desire to destroy each other. It was about mutual respect. It was about pushing each other to the absolute limits of human potential. It was about creating a standard of excellence that would define an entire sport. And when Franco thanked Arnold for beating him, he was not being gracious in defeat. He was acknowledging the truth that Arnold's victories had made Franco better, that the struggle had mattered more than the trophy, that the real victory was in the knowing that both of them had pushed each other toward greatness. That is what separated true champions from everyone else. Not the ability to win, but the ability to recognize that your opponent is not your enemy, but your partner in the pursuit of excellence. And when Franco embraced Arnold after losing, he was not congratulating him on winning a trophy. He was thanking him for being the person who pushed him to be better. He was acknowledging that they had made each other great. And in that moment, something shifted in how Arnold understood competition. It was no longer about beating Franco. It was about the journey they were taking together towards something neither of them could achieve alone. That was the real victory. That was the real championship. Not the trophy, not the title, not the applause, but the knowledge that you had a rival worthy of your efforts, that you had an opponent who pushed you, that you had a partner in greatness, and that together you had created something that would last forever. The rivalry between Arnold and Franco became legendary not because of who won, but because of what they represented. They represented the idea that true greatness is not about dominance. It is about mutual elevation. It is about two people pushing each other towards something greater than either of them could achieve alone. And that is why, decades later, when people talk about Arnold and Franco, they do not talk about wins and losses. They talk about the battles, the mutual respect, the understanding that they had made each other immortal through their rivalry. That is a legacy of the rival's gratitude, not a trophy on a shelf, but the understanding that you had a worthy opponent, and that together you had created something eternal.